Hello all, welcome back to Rogue Trader, of course, game operator and narrator soul. We shall continue our travels. Hopefully nothing else decides to stop us along our route, but we'll see. Direct 5. Lord Captain reporting. Lord Captain reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobility continue to maintain Vox silence. Perhaps due to Iraq 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercept signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite house requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmissions. Contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadenced sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I am sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the Augur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear the static and Vigius' measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators' heralds ignoring us? Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you'll have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. We're gonna bring everybody? We're gonna bring everybody. All the warriors. And then we die in a terrible shuttle crash. Oh, this looks promising.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Okay, can I? Nope, can't do anything. Oh, firing squad coming up. I was a second late, it would seem. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet-black unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Wait, how can a blind man see the starry sky? Felix's thin lips twist, revealing a row of sharpened teeth. You don't know what you're up to, but I'm in no mood for games. Well, you know, as everybody has been insisting, Abelard, if you would be so kind. The Seneschal takes a deep breath. Before you stands his lordship the rogue trader Solstrom von Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that noble custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances on the station, his lordship the rogue trader is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility. But just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion. But just this once. There's a dangerous glint in the man's dark, shrouded eyes. Very well. Allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of this place. So how did you not arrive? So you did not arrive to offer support to the traders. This is great news. Having said that, you must understand the Arak 5 is a holy sanctum for House Celio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. The navigator looks at his guards and winces. The soldiers are quivering as if their tormented flesh were being flayed, yet they keep clutching their weapons. Let's see, which one? Provide me with a navigator, and I will immediately depart the station. I do not think this is possible. Arak 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of infinity and chart the movements of the warp storms, and besides, Bellic gestures at the disorder around him. You have chosen an inopportune time for negotiations. Why would a keeper of the station command vile mutants condemned by the Emperor? The blame lies with Theobald Orcelio, the second keeper of Arak 5. The old man was a great navigator, but he could no longer control his powers. I begged him to retire, but he was too obsessed with our mistress, Lady Cassia. His madness and stubbornness spelled doom for the entire station, for he opened his third eye in a fit of rage and unleashed the horrors of the warp on those who displeased him. The Theobald I knew would never have used his powers in such a reckless manner. This will be difficult to explain to the uninitiated, but I'm going to try. The warp currents in the system have been tumultuous for dozens of cycles, and have worn the veil between our world and the Immaterium thin and frail, at least here on the station. The ruinous powers are trying to tear it down completely and corrupt all living things. The servants were the first to fall victim to it. Oh, their bodies morphed, and pain and despair drove the poor souls mad. The lunatics took my mistress prisoner and almost destroyed the station, but I rallied the few who still followed the light of the Golden Throne to set things right. The Lord Navigator here is speaking the unvarnished truth. I bet the station is full of voices and whispers, all trying to break through from the other side, waiting for you to reach out and swing the door wide open. I sincerely hope the influence of the Mentarium has not yet affected your body and soul. With all due respect, I advise you not to remain at the station. Return to your void ship. I need to save Lady Cassia. If you are not willing to help or indeed risk your life, you must leave now. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Bellic takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. And yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the Mistress Chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic, sanctified with the blood of Lady Orcelio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even the relic will be of no use, unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I make the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress' blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priests ceaselessly perform the rites of appeasement, so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. And how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. That's so simple. Why don't you do it yourself? I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madman who took over the station. They will not negotiate, and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis Nobilite or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what have you decided, descendant of the Von Valancius line? The woes of your house upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of profit, but for the good of the Imperium. Belek nods curtly. You should hurry then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, road trader, and may the Emperor's light be with you. So, those were traders, okay.
We are bound by the blood of
I see goods. Maltiki. That way seems to be blocked. Ooh, hello, what is this?
The premonition runs true.
Ugh. Possibly tortured. That's awesome. We could jump that for athletics. Okay, cool. How about the other side? This side is more blocked.
Bright, pure color. And it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
If the witch is talking about the enemies of humanity who set up
I was just gonna say, if
noble navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
I was just gonna say, she better not be going crazy.
Unexpected result.
Okay, well. We have a servant over here. Hello, sir. Mumbles incoherently. That's fair.
Genius triumphs!
Took their own lives by slicing their guts wide open. Neat. Excuse me while I ransack the station for my own good. Where is those goods? I saw them. Right there. Catechism of St. Josuus. That is a word.
The divine watches over us.
Ooh, purple crate. Ripper auto pistol. And frag grenades. I will gladly take those. And give myself an entire suite of grenades. That's the phylactery of blood. I believe that is all our grenades. Goods on the table. Meteorite chunk. Neat. How about you, servant? Still mumbling incoherently.
Rightfully ours.
Mutated flesh sample. Well, I can see that there's a mutant traitor there, eating a guard defender. That's lovely. And a mutant commander. The Lady Navigator statue looks pristine and new. The library is full of treatises by the most distinguished scholars of the Imperium, from the Astamistarum to everything else in between, but that was too quick. Intercepted conversation between security officers. Nope, I want to read that. Tremendous honor, yes, but the promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal guard. But the God Emperor, well, you're a strapping lad. You'll probably make it for a cycle or 3. Looks like it's worn people down. Can I open this and read it? Yes. And you're tired of the Winter Scales visits. Tired indeed. Can I trigger a fight here? I can. Oh good, zombies. Hello, cutscene? There we go. That took a minute.
Moving out.
Good parry. Can I get another? Yes.
Weather the storm.
Ow.
Ears are ringing.
Okay, Argenta, let's go ahead and get you running gun.
For commands, I act.
And I think concentrated fire would be very good.
Guided by faith.
I want to do this.
I'll do it.
I would like to do that again if I can, but I cannot.
Strike is a prayer.
So I'll just drop that dude.
Break them all!
Good shooting, mutant commander. Ow!
I must not falter.
All right, so yeah, as expected, now I get access to Blade Dance. Do death from above. Only there.
Actions will see your corrupt way has failed you.
Aha!
And so shall it be done.
Not liking the fresh wounds we have already. Abelard has been knocked prone. And I better clean this up quick.
Towards our ultimate victory. Rejoice in service.
I could still do a little bit.
And so it shall be done. Your defiance is futile.
And then jump back.
Emperor commands.
Cool. That's awful fancy.
Stay vigilant. Weapon at the ready.
Okay, Tom. I did not equip you with a sidearm. As a secondary backup. That's okay. You can't do anything anyway, so I'll just end the turn. I mean, there's a couple people lining themselves up here to be just delicious targets. Abelard, I'm gonna need you to get up. And I could probably do that. Make you a little sensory deprived. Analyze.
Was that you? Or
And let's expose. You're gonna have a world of trouble. And I'm just gonna laugh. Abelard is up. Invigorate on to Tom. Get him healed up a bit. Let arm onto Abelard. Ooh. We're dancing with the devil now. The veil is awful thin here. Punch it right through the roof. Do we redline it? We redline it. Well, that was a little bit of a feedback, wasn't it? Yes, everyone gather together. I have a shotgun I'd like to introduce you to. That's not everybody. Mind you, neither is that. Okay.
I will not be deterred.
All costs. Voice of command onto Abelard.
And so shall it be done.
You know what?
Rejoice in
And give Abelard an extra action point as well. And we have just enough
that will crush the heathens.
to do that.
Your corrupt way has failed.
A shotgun for everybody. Little bolter fire to go on top of everything? I think so.
faith without deep. Escape the Emperor's judgment.
Clean that right up. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Mutant Commander, what are you doing? Taking pot shots again, eh? That's a flank.
Can I fall back now?
Let's say we're gonna hop over here
May the Divine's will be done.
and have us a serious conversation with you.
Let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
I think we'll fall back now, thank you. Nope, too far away from death from above. That'll be the turn. How about... Oh, that... Let's pop your head. We are getting awful close to Veil degradation. Abelard, get up here. We're gonna do this first. Brace for impacts. We set you up to endure.
Attackingly sound effect.
How about we charge?
Victory is imminent.
Down goes the commander. I no need to do sworn enemy then. Last person left is across the map.
Shattered foes in my wake. What?
Oh, that's not line of sight. Ugh. Well, I screwed up that heal. And that target is too far away. I can get Abelard to rush.
I won't suffer this.
Unavailable. Let's try that again.
My place is at the fort. Indeed.
%, 21%. That's a miss.
I will do my duty.
Could have taken another shot, but it'll be done the next turn anyways. Round 3. Let's do running gun.
Commands, I act. Rejoice in battle.
Probably gonna make it worse from the cover, but
This is
the
unacceptable.
line of sight. Yeah. Probably should use that first. Yep. Gotta remember how the game is played, so That looked like a swing and a miss. I'm actually just going to roll through everybody here.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
This is so much better.
Will be done once you on target.
Beautiful. Shotgun and flak chest plate. How about everybody else? Pretty much the exact same. A lot of knives. Nothing really fancy. There's a primitive sword, but that's about it.
Let us walk
All right,
this
side room.
path to the end.
Yvain's act was noble but foolhardy. You cannot.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not reading. I'm not reading the literature. Navigator flesh sample. Ooh.
At least he tried to get through to his friend instead of just blowing his brains out on sight. Oh wait, I forgot who I'm talking to.
What is this? There's something. There's loot there, loot there. Guard defender. I missed loot.
Applaud my brilliance.
Kill. H40 KO. Anything secret? Not really.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
And what's behind door number 1? Depression by the looks of it. More bodies. Another mutant trader. You stay back, mutant. Okay, he's got a knife. Yes, and that's how that should be done. Immediate shotgun blast.
We are bound by the
Oh no, he's got a knife. Oh no, I have a shotgun. 41, okay. I'm seeing a pattern. Not all of it good. Before I go any further this way, let's swing back over here.
Another notch.
Weird.
know your duty.
Nothing there. Okay, how about this athletics?
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Oh, we unburied a body. Mars pattern sword. Ooh. That's a little better. And noble silk gloves. Collect all that. Alright, Tom, you needed a sidearm just in case. Las pistol. Precise las pistol. Ripper. Give you the precise las pistol. Better armor penetration. Let's give that to you. Now, as far as the persuasion gloves go, yeah, looks awful nice. Okay, let's get back over here.
There. Done.
Unlock, please.
Triumphs.
We shall
Ooh,
reclaim
look at all the
what is
goods here.
rightfully ours.
All cargo. That's a little better. Long lasts. Ooh, sniper rifle. Interesting. Carapace chestplate. 20 armor with no dodge penalty. Light armor. More grenades.
Everyone, applaud my brilliance.
Okay, so you have an armored body glove. That will be better. Yeah, it matches the gloves. Now that long las, seeing how I do have a shotgun pistol. That might be better for you. Not 100% on it, but it's 14 to 20 damage, can't say no. More history. Ooh. Let's collect that and open that up real quick. I may not read it. But if you pause it, you can read it along as well. Door. Ooh, a little more gore. Gotta love it. What we got? Rough, bloody sketch. Picture of a tall woman with a dark-eyed monster painted with fresh blood. Lovely. That's right up there for grimdark. Awaken the cogitator spirit.
Let's walk this path to the end.
The cogitator's vidscreen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, and levers were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. Wiggy wiggy. You turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vidscreen of the sacred engine flickers. The cogitator's insides emit creaks and groans, and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the cogitator's systems. What can we do? Quest data on the stations and navigators. After a brief pause, the data appears on the vidscreen. So Felek, we met in the main hall. He is alive. Ilbal the Celio, still alive. Calamira, deceased. Alexius, deceased. Ramus Estevan Ocelio, location unknown. Status deceased. That's a lot of dead. Okay, the child. Location upper chambers. Biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat. Elevated body temperature, stress level exceeds the permissible limit. Status, unknown error. Attention, calming procedures advised. Upper chambers inaccessible. The control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact a station keeper of the Navis Laboratorium Custodian. We could call Rykad Minoris for help. The system cannot carry out your command despite the eager compliance of the machine spirits. One thing is certain, the problem does not lie in the cogitator's mechanisms. Examining the logs. Partially corrupted, but you still managed to access the residual logs for examination. Alright, Vox report. That number. The Vox recording hisses for some time before you hear a voice. This is Officer A-282. Do you copy? Several generators overheat in the lower levels. Chambers A to D are underpowered. The tech priest crew said to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting back, the officer's speech is interrupted by shouting, and the recording abruptly ends. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winter Scale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply. I cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. Our rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor, you hear me? Anyone. If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. The following Vox recordings are too badly distorted to make out even a single word. Let's have a look at the incident. Report X880, originator, classified. Date, classified. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have the remains reprocessed. Negotiations with the Winter Scales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. And data expunged. Check the docking log. Identity confirmed. Regent Aranto Acelio. Date of visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. And security and life support logs. Now, warning, damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning, living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning, unable to access the station's docking system. Warning, energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning. How about the encrypted data? Can we see that? Something buzzes in the cogitator's metallic gut. Several red lumens light up above the vid screen. Required access level, security captain or above. Current access level, senior, security officer. Let's break through the machine guard's defenses. You easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the sacred machine. Cogitator's overloaded processors were unhappily. Most of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of the Purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of the most recent commands, having been embedded in the machine spirit's consciousness, now flits across the screen in a single creeping line. Child delete pick flow disable access code annul station controls. Delete active shuttle self-destruct purge command log. Exploring the archives for a while longer yields a surviving excerpt from the guard captain's report mentioning that the security system had recently been reconfigured without his knowledge. His comment reads, only the keepers of the station have access to the life support system. But Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that? Only the keeper, eh? The vid screen blinks and the mechanism of the machine's core emit a quiet hum. Switch to main chamber controls. The cogs within the sacred mechanism slowly start turning with heavy grinding and clacking. The tired machine spirits grant you access to the station control, or at least its parts that still obey the cogitator. Open all doors on the level. Cogitator's vid screen goes dark as if the machine spirits had fled their mechanical casket. But your assumption is incorrect, as it fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out the inscription amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. Well, I'm thinking... Shoot. This one. You push a few buttons on the control panel, but the system rebels and keeps resetting your commands. According to the data, the compartment you're trying to open is depressurized. With this one. Cogitator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active systems. According to the report, this door has already been opened. How about this one? Protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. Cool. How about this one? Already opened. Already opened. I broke it. I did not break it. Huzzah! How about this one? No, nothing. Main elevator controls. Elevator to upper chambers is blocked. Activate the elevator. Confirmed. Elevator's on. I think we've done everything here.
The Divine watches over us.
Yes. Oh, we got goods here. Can't miss those. Warp Seer's goggles. That's bonus lore warp. Now, you don't really need that, but you could probably use that. Fancier goggles. Give those back to Soul. So at least he can feel a little smarter.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Oh, good. The warp is thin here. I don't know what that did. Now I'm really worried. Either way, through the door. Oh, this is a fine mess, isn't it? A bunch of spilled chemicals. O4OH. I feel these might be important. What is this?
Another notch.
Synthetic amniotic fluid. Oh, good. Add science. Biogel, black water. Ooh. Oh, no. Hissing foul-smelling liquid. Purified sample from the ocean world. That world. A viscous, translucent substance. Do I have to do science? Am I going to have to do science? I don't want to do science. Flesh sample. Psi crystal. And this is a lab, so I'm willing to bet science is just around the corner. Probably right here. Yep. I think we're going to have to spend some time reading these notes here very, very shortly before we do anything else aside from remaking the control rod. More lab notes. We are going to take... Rest assured, before we touch buttons, we're going to take some time and read through those. And by read, I mean we're going to take some time. I'm going to pop them up on screen. And we're all going to read our own parts together in our own heads. That's part 13, part 12. I am missing so much. Let's look at the lab journals first. All right, as before. If you need to read it, pause it. Because I'm going to be reading to myself here immediately afterwards. So that way I can understand exactly what's going to be happening. But this is for you guys. It's 12. 13. Which you've already read, yes. Okay, I'm gonna do some reading. Now we better have a look at this too. It looks like a whole bunch of "Our faithful servant shall do this. He shall wipe the bottom." All right, I'm gonna put a cut in here. And I'm going to do some deep reading to see if I can figure out exactly what needs to go where from these notes. And then we'll start pushing buttons. Back in a minute, everybody. Okay, we are back. A little bit of reading. I think some of these things might not be what we want to use here. Let's find out. Well, first off, remake the control rod, yes. Time has passed. Transducer, what do you do? So we got the psi crystal, meteorite chunk, and adamantine. We know the meteorite chunk, they said is used for paints.
This is out of the ordinary.
Meteorite dust. How about the other things? Psi crystal? Crystal dust. And adamantine. Adamantine dust. All right. I also saw this mentioned, do not use the water. Like the black water here. They mentioned that it was like their tears byproduct. So we have unidentified acid and biogel. Okay. This looks fairly straightforward. Tissue flask. We have a navigator flesh sample, mutated flesh sample, and just a flesh sample. This, the notes mentioned, were not good. Let's try mutated. Catalyst flask. If it's mutated. That's maybe one. What else are we looking at? I made some notes here, so I'm just trying to look over them real quick. Crystal dust. Data crypt connector. You mentioned that one of these is not working either. I think I got my notes right. This might work. What do we got? Ah, God! That did not. I didn't have my notes right.
Your duty.
Well, now I broke it. Reading really is a skill. Anyways, I don't know what that was, and I don't know what it made. But we're not gonna know right now. I broke it. Anyways, let's go back and have a chat with the keeper here. Or did we have to go back and insert the control rod into the computer? Check the journal. No, it says to say return to the keeper. Okay. Then return to the keeper it is.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
All right, Felek. I'll turn that on. Control rod is cool. Okay, Felek. Give me your control rod, bud. Felek looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided, his wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthier color under the scales on his cheeks. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Adira suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder. Then she starts mumbling. At Crossroads, there are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the cursed eye. They all wear masks so poor and flimsy they fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a bland man, the other a traitor. Tell me more. What paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, and the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Oh. Well, who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whisperers are giggling nastily. They will not speak the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the masks is your concern. Thank you. I did not understand a single word. Dira nods tiredly and glances at Felek out of the corner of her eye. The station has enough problems without your sorcery, psyker. Felek waves Adira off and looks at you expectantly. I have many questions regarding what happened on this station. You think they are worthy of the life of my mistress? Why, yes, I do. Who is the child mentioned in the documents and reports found in the station? You meddled with something that should have been left alone. The keeper folds his arms and shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station servants called Lady Cassia, for the commoners' dirty mouths must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are still able to speak. The madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. Felek gives an indifferent shrug. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dare to raise their hands against the scions of a noble bloodline? The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. The warp corrupts not only the soul, but just as much the body and the mind. Mad and furious, a single servant wielded more strength than an entire squad of the mistress' personal guards. The bodyguards had their minds fogged as well, but their honed will let them hold out just long enough to destroy those who rushed in to assault them with their bare hands. You ignored the password that was sent to Evane Winterscale from the station. Ridiculous! I personally give out passwords to every attendant. What you mentioned when we first met has nothing to do with the access code to Iraq 5. You've been misled. Destroying the shuttles, shutting off the power, and disabling the security systems. Too many things required special access. Access available only to the keeper of the station. As I'm sure you're aware, there were two keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Arcelio, the demented old man obsessed with the Lady Cassia and her power, and also the one to blame for the woes that have befallen Iraq 5 in our noble line. I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station systems. Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed. Or maybe after, or... Felix's stern face twists in disgust. You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left. By the God, Emperor, you will keep this slanderous accusations to yourself. I listened to a recording of a private conversation between the station's officers. You were very lenient toward them, purposely neglecting the security protocols. I was lenient, this is true. And in the end, I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. The keeper spits out the last few words with particular bitterness. Enough lies, Felix. I'm certain that you are the one behind this coup. Felix nods wearily. I suppose it is time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you've got me. But did you really expect me to be sincere this entire time? To welcome you with open arms, an ally of Tristophone and her monster? The accursed child who has tormented the navigators of House Arcelio for years? Don't make me laugh. You arrived to help her completely destroy her house. I cannot let that happen. What are you babbling about? I know nothing about this Tristophone or monsters of any kind. You do not? Felix hesitates for quite a while. In that case, accept my sincere apology for the deception in my early behavior. I had no intention of making an enemy of Von Valancius' heirs, nor of destroying the station that served as my home for many years. It left me no choice. You cannot imagine what monster lurks in the upper chambers. An evil, a plague, a pestilence on our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Arcelio from within. Theobald and his followers, just mindless fanatics serving this evil. Lady Cassie is a scion of a merciless tyrant, but is not a relation to Tristophone that is terrifying. She is a monster whose powers drive servants insane in mere turns. Cursed child who can kill a navigator from the Arcelio bloodline with just a look. I alone managed to get close enough to her over the years. She lowered her guard and trusted me, and at long last I rid my house of the curse. This is the truth. All navigators are abominable mutants and monsters, so what? Felix clutches the precious staff in a hand, resembling a kraken's tentacle. I may be a mutant, and yet monsters may wear many a pleasant guise. Do not believe everything you see. Perhaps you are ingraining yourself to me, hoping I will let down my guard. I cannot change the past and dare not hope you will ever trust me again. But I swear my words of my apology are genuine. Well, if your cursed child agrees to become my navigator, I will gladly rid you of this burden. You do not understand. This is... Felix stops mid-sentence, makes a brief pause, and then nods to himself. You are correct. This may work. It certainly is possible. You're going to need this charm. Felix hands you a precious stone without a setting. Its luminous surface remains cold to the touch, no matter how long you hold it in your hand. If you manage to press it against this monster's skin, whether by force or by guile, the baleful influence of her powers will recede. You will be able to take her and leave the station. Okay. That. Sir? You literally did a 180 here. I can't talk to you. You literally did a 180. Where you said, I must destroy this monster before it destroys my bloodline. And then I say, I'll put it on my ship. And you're like, oh, that's cool. I think I screwed up. The pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continuously streams from the scarlet-misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye in the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament. When your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past warped nightmares reemerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crushing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn on your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong to you? Dira emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Ow, 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 ow. As if my own little pals weren't bad enough, now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy. Agenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head, and her white hair veils her face. Lady Cassia, I'm here to help you. Please, calm yourself. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound, similar to both a sob and the howl of a small, wounded animal. What? What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already, and you? Who are you? Solstrom von Valancius. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. An ease settles over her features, and she nods cautiously. Pardon my manners, Solstrom. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. The heavy-set old man who's been kneeling nearby erupts into low sobs. His eyes, swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room as though the veil of ignorance had just been ripped away from them. The child! Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child! Throne preserve! Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You. The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins, and his bulging, milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly, sweet scent assaults your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. Warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of House Cecilio down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the whispers shriek like crazy. He might just open that eye of his. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offense, esteemed... whoever you are. Abelard places a hand on his weapon. At present, I'm trying to determine what's happening here on Eric 5. I'll grant you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of a wrecked station, but like scoundrels in Felix's service. Who are you? Abelard, introduce us. His lordship, rogue trader Sostrom van Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate of the Coronis Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, extends his greetings. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful. And so House Arcelio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today. You decide. What is the curse that has taken hold of everyone in this room? This is the information I want before I make a decision. Theobald frowns. Curse? You do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child laughs or smiles, we all laugh giddily. And if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Trysophone, for she is the heir of House Arcelio. That name again. And they call me dangerous, my witchcraft, Indira mutters under her breath. You look frightening. The fish eyes look at you with unwavering dignity. You were not supposed to see me, or Felix, or the sacred child. Navigators are highly paid for their loyal services to the Imperium according to his will. No one would dare judge the guides of humanity, the chosen of the galactic sovereign himself. I want to know what happened between you and Felix. Felix is my wayward student. He came to Urak 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss, to pervert the centuries-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of our greatest of our Novators, Trysophone Arcelio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy. The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the Novator's throne. Now it's all starting to click. So choose whose side you are on. A murderous traitor or the lawful scion of a noble house. Theobald speaks those words softly, looking the unconscious woman with reverence. Felix said that the child is a monster, a legacy of tyranny that must be wiped out. And he believed him. After everything he has done to the station, Felix only wishes to dispose of the heir and take the reins in his bloodstained hands. Do not besmirch Lady Cassia's good name. The child is the holiest and most innocent creature on this entire station. How could you lose control of your own station? Do not thrust my errors in my face. I am twice your age, and twice as wise. Take my advice. Trust no one but yourself and the Emperor. Even those closest to you will betray you for gold, power, or a far-fetched idea of a bright future. What service would you ask of me? Hope glimmers in the navigator's milky eyes. Save the sacred child. Take her away from the station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivulet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood briskly away with his sleeve. He glimpses strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Aranto, acting head of House Arcelio in the Coronis Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Argenta looks at Cassia, and with a painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing, with such a heavy burden upon her shoulders. You are talking as though you expect to die here. Theobald shrugs indifferently. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Felix inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Praise the throne slowly enough to see that the child is taken care of. You need help. There's a Medicaid deck on my ship. But Theobald only shakes his head. No. I am the keeper of Uruk 5, and I will perish along with my station. On that note, I have other matters to attend to. I believe I have made my decision. Is that so? Please share your thoughts. Well, that double take at the bottom of the elevator was kind of a strong indicator that I may have screwed up by taking the stone here. He wants the child, Theobald wants the child taken away, presented to the master of the house. Belek expects me to take the child away on the ship and then just disappear into the void. I don't trust Felix. Felix is a true monster. Let's do away with him together. Theobald dips his head in favor of the proposition. Allies are always welcome, even temporary ones. I will revive the child. Do not be alarmed. The power of House Ocelio's heir will help us to destroy enemies and shield us from Felix Navigator forces. But you rest for a time before the battle. We are under the influence of discolored visions. Source! Hell's cast. Hell's cast. Duration. Permanent. Permanent. That better go away when I get back to the ship, or by God, there's going to be trouble.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Perception, willpower, and dodge are reduced by 10. Permanent. Good God. I will take these goods. Anything else of note around here?
This path to the end.
Does not appear to be so. Unless it's over in the library. Nope. Yes, about time we repay those who betrayed our house. Come. Time to throw down. Oh, traitor, you treason us worm. I knew I should have killed you. Oh, that's comforting. That is enough, boy. You betrayed the child, our house, and Trisphone herself. Surrender. I am the savior of our house, and I'm prepared to pay the ultimate price. Kill them. Oh, good.
I will cast you into eternal darkness.
And what do we got going on? We got a whole lot of bad around us, do we? And Abelard, let's put you... Put you right there. You're, Hell's Cats. Yeah, we might be able to shuffle around here a little bit. Tom set up. Where is Abelard? He is on that side. Perfect. Start the throwdown. Let's get this over with.
Moving out.
Swing and a miss. Okay. Give let arm to Tom for that blade dance he's going to be doing.
Oh, a genius at work.
Argenta.
I'll do it.
Some running gun.
Doubt is for the weak.
Get some momentum going.
As the Emperor commands, I
And get
act.
concentrated fire rolled up too. I could. This is going to be kind of a sacrificial move. I can like wipe out half a fighting force here.
Through me, be the fire in my heart.
Ish.
I'll do it.
Well, heavily damage them anyways.
Follow my lead.
The old man's taking some hits.
Onward. Duty prevails.
Break them around.
Oh, the medic actually just wiped somebody out. Okay, cool.
Will do.
Give me a psychic scream.
But of course.
You could do a will test.
As duty demands.
Yeah. Okay. She just completely greased that guy out of here. Seemed to be starting with 2 AP and no movement. Less than I was used to.
And so it shall be done.
I screwed up the process of that one. What we got? Shots where? 95 there.
Rejoice in service.
Good hit. Sniper rifle. Gotta love it.
Follow my lead.
That hurt.
Vigilant. Weapon at the ready.
Ooh, good heal, Medicaid.
At your beck and call.
Do our boost.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I should be able to cut you down.
It will be done. I took care of this.
Perfect.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can't cut you down, but we can tie you up. Get Endure set up.
I must not falter. Death to the heretic!
So I'm actually going to do something here.
Let my enemies tremble at the sound of my steps. The Emperor's commands.
I should be able to do Blade
You
Dance.
have been judged and found wanting.
Another attack. Oh, so close.
Actions will speak louder.
And back to the start of the turn. Blade Dance is kind of neat. And the voice of command to Abelard.
Rejoice in service.
Beautiful. And do we just take out the big guy? Why not? Peace. Gotta love that las rifle.
May my wrath be thy undoing.
All right, Abelard. I actually... Ooh.
Follow my lead.
I may have to do this.
Victory is imminent. One fewer target.
That's all my movement. Shoot. Theobald. Oh, excuse me. Theobald did not quite get it. No damage though.
Through the smoke.
Let's all Hell's Cat over and just pop the soldier's head here. I can't do it. I don't have Psychic Scream. I do have a gun though. Good night. That's a... Oh, that was a miss. I got nothing doing over there.
Follow my lead.
Kind of chipping away at everything. Oh, we still have to... Ah, I forgot there's a guy over there still. Whoops. Well, thank you, Medicaid.
No can do.
Target is too far. Okay, well, I'll just shuffle this way.
Anything
And
else?
pop your head.
What is this foreboding?
Can I do it again? Yep. Done and done.
Now, this is your burden, child. Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
No! Don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me?
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
I regret we had to meet under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Lady Cassia? I, Solstrom von Valancius, rogue trader of the Imperium of Man, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel.
As a lady navigator of House Orcelio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
Okay, let's see if that warp thing persists, and it does not. Okay, so that it... Oh, is it really from Hell's Cat? Really? Really? Yeah. I hope that goes away.
What advice do you seek?
Because that was quite the punishing thing here. You're out for the bodyguard. Scavenge the old man's corpse. Perfect. Deadshot stub revolver. Staff of House Ocelio. Armored body gloves. Thrice Pioneer's bracers. Every time the wearer deals damage, the target's weapon skill ballistic skill is reduced by -5 for 2 rounds. Stacks up to 6 times. And tactical goggles, 5% chance to hit, 3% chance to critical hits. Yoink. Is that everybody? Is that everybody? Is that everything? Yes. Looks like it. Oh, wait. Before we do anything... Inventory. Where be those fancy goggles? Tactical goggles. Sister Argenta. And I'm gonna switch out your helmet. Make that bolter a little bit more dangerous. And give her the bracers too. Alright, let's get out of here. Maybe. Maybe. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously. Your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with a rogue trader. Leave us. Of course! When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Okay. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigis, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. What do you wish to speak about? Before I begin the ritual, I wish to look once again in the eyes of the man whose fame is so great it managed to penetrate the impregnable walls of Yorick 5 long before we ever met. It truly is you, Solstrom, the person whose expanse and Calyx sector are talking about, and now a rogue traitor as well. After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale, then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders. I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Tell me about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated can understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implant ports. After that, I use the House of Celio ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts. Then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread, so fine it can slip from one's grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand as though dropping something. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House of Celio never lose their course. Why are you asking for these items? Now is not the time to indulge in painting. You're asking questions, the answers to which you cannot comprehend. Perhaps I may explain it all to you at a later time, but now our time is too precious to waste. As a navigator of House of Celio, I give you my word that without canvas and paint, we have little hope of a smooth journey through the warp. I have no reason to lie. Why do you refuse red paint? It is my habit to use the blood of my attendants, so as to preserve my own. However, given the current circumstances, my own will serve even better. The blood of the Navis Nobility is sacred, and so is more suitable for the communion ritual. I shall ensure that all the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. Cassia nods in thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. You can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. Please don't make me paint a picture. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clicking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence. Initiating communion ritual. You hear the exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard. Then the stifling gasp of the Lady Navigator, the rhythmic dripping of liquid on canvas, and the faint whisper of a brush. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance, a storm rising above foaming waters, armadas drowning in fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother. And the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. The Vox Master recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks. The Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Cassia, are you alright in there? Soul-shredding screams drown the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain, their throats raw from the strain. And then, sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fates. It appears the servants are part of the Lady Navigator's rite, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric and metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold, steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report to the condition of the station, Uruk 5. Regrettably, we arrived too late to evacuate the residents of the station. The warp disruptions affecting Uruk 5 twisted the bodies and minds of its attendants. The corruption failed to affect Lady Cassia, thank the Emperor. The navigators are trained to resist the Immaterium's pull. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for an engine, Seer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Henrix van Kalox, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not on Uruk 5, so we should keep this in mind when making any future plans. Thank you, Vigis. That will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Well, I guess we can put that feather in our cap. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all the time we have for today. It has run a little bit long, but like I said, we were planning on running longer episodes anyways. So this actually works out perfectly. We are going to do all of our level ups in the next episode. But for now, meantime, if you liked the episode, by all means, please don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff. Every little bit does help. Push on all the buttons. Drop a comment on down below. Let me know what you think. And in the meantime, stay safe, and I'll catch everybody in the next one. Take care, all.
I'm inbound on your starboard. 7 high-tech. Eat this, Toaster. Target acquisition is screwed. Give me manual controls now.